So I'm sitting here today with Janet Cox, and she's part of the Remax Lifestyle team in Denver, North Carolina. So thank you for joining me, Janet.
Oh, thank you, Celeste.
Yeah, we're at Celebration. It's pretty exciting in
Yes,
Orlando, Florida.
it's been a very good conference.
Yeah, I bet I've seen a lot of great faces and had a lot of good conversations and great topics that the realtors are covering. So lots of pearls of knowledge being passed around.
The speakers have been very informative, and no matter how many classes you take, there's always something else that you can pick up.
Yes, great. Well, I'm glad you made it and I have a chance to meet you.
My
So,
pleasure.
I just wanted to talk to you about how you came into the real estate industry. So, I get some history on that.
I got my real estate license in 1998. Started my career with Century 21. I was there for about 11 years, and actually had a chance today to see Mike Salvaggio again, and he was one of my CRS instructors, which I started in 2005. And taking that class just changed everything, made me look at real estate from a different perspective, that it was about helping the clients. And once you put yourself out of the transaction or realize that you're merely there to facilitate it, it really got rid of a lot of stuff. It got rid of the egos. They checked at the door. It's not about me, it's about my client. It's about providing the service for my client. And that progressed and took us from Century 21 to Remax. And then in 2013, my husband and I bought our own franchise. So we've incorporated that entire mindset into our new office and the way we handle our clients, and the way we treat our clients, and the way we handle our business.
That's perfect. That makes sense. I mean, everyone wants to deal with a real estate agent that understands that this is a big purchase in their life and they need them on their side and not thinking
Yes.
of themselves. So, it's
Yeah.
a great way to look at it. Can I ask you how you went about lead generation initially and what brought you to using Real Pro systems later on?
I started Real Pro about 6, 7 years ago, and it was through these conferences. It seemed like all the big heavy hitters had one constant: they all used Real Pro. And I learned from that, and we went with Real Pro, and that made a significant difference. It made our business run smoothly. It did create lead generation. I learned more about SEO than I ever wanted to know, and but it was also easy to manipulate and use. You didn't have to have a degree in tech to create a fantastic website, to be able to use that website in an individual situation. It wasn't so canned that everybody's looked alike. It wasn't so canned that the content was the same. We're all in different markets. We all have different needs, and we want to talk about different things. And this setup with Real Pro allows you to make your website for your company.
Right. We hear that a lot from our clients, so it's nice to hear that you had the same experience. And six
Absolutely.
years is a great long time. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Oh,
staying around. And
I've enjoyed it. I'm glad it's there, and it's evolved. It's gone through it. Certain things have worked better than others, but we're still here for the long haul.
and what would you say is your favorite part of the system or tool that you've used the most or you think has been most beneficial for your company?
The one I get the most consistent return on is when I have a client in the system and we have them on the drip email campaigns. They actually open them. They actually return the emails. Thank you for checking in. That information was helpful, and you don't get that from any other. I've used Top Producer. I've used other CRMs, and Remax as a corporation has one as well. But the drip campaigns tend to be too short in those other programs. You can't build client rapport with 8 emails. You need it to go longer. Sometimes it's very easy to manipulate and use. If I want to throw in a specific email for whatever, it may be a holiday or a special thing coming up or a special event, so easy to incorporate it and just throw it in the system and let it populate out to everybody. Easy to manipulate, to get people in, to out, to classify them in groups, because again, everybody is not all the same. So being able to put different types of buyers and different types of classifications, and it doesn't take forever to do.
Yeah, because you're going to be busy out with clients. So
Yes,
that's really what the system's there for, so that
right.
you can take care of what you're good at, which is dealing with clients, showing them homes, getting them comfortable. And the system takes care of keeping other clients or leads in your system informed. So I'm glad to hear that.
Absolutely. That is probably the best. If I stayed for no other reason, it would be the CRM.
Okay, great.
So
And I believe you're on a gold system or gold plus or something like that.
I started on silver,
Okay.
went to gold, went to platinum, went back to gold, and I'm getting ready to go back to platinum. So I've done them all. It's all been good.
Yeah.
But as our business has changed, we needed different things, and the system could adapt. We didn't have to pay for things we didn't need, and when I needed more, I could grow and didn't lose my content and didn't lose all my files, didn't lose all my information. So I don't recommend bouncing between them all as much as I have, but we didn't lose and we didn't have to start over when we did when we
Yeah.
moved.
Well, that was one of the reasons when I first started Real Pro and realized that Levy and Haas were the ones that created the
Mm-hmm.
system for agents. I'm like, that's brilliant because they know what you need.
Right.
And they did look at a system where every stage of your career was covered regardless. So you didn't have to
Mm-hmm.
jump from company to company, lose content, deal with new people, and kind of have the headache that comes with that. So I'm glad to hear that you had that experience, the flexibility of the system.
I did, and it was one of the conferences. Actually, I met both of those gentlemen at the Real Estate Masters Guild conference, and that's when it kind of clicked in my head. It didn't matter if I was with a franchise or not. I was always going to be Janet Cox. No matter where I went, I
Mm-hmm.
needed to be me, and I needed to own my name, my book of business, and my clients. And when I did leave my prior affiliation, I lost everything.
Yeah.
So I knew when I moved one time, I wasn't going back like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have the opportunity to use my franchise products. I don't. I own my domain. That's my website. It doesn't matter. When we opened the new firm and I changed firms, it was seamless. Nothing, not even a glitch, because my stuff was all in Real Pro and it went with me. I literally changed the name on my Real Pro from, one company to the other, but nothing else had to change. There was no bounce whatsoever. It was just a seamless transition. And if you're an agent, it doesn't matter your level. When you're an agent, that's your book of business. Those are your clients that you created and you want them to go with you. And if you don't have a standalone system to do that, then it's not. You're building a business for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of real estate agents do go through that pain point where they don't realize, and not that they're supposed to. I mean, it's just like they're trying to get their certification
Right.
and get going, and they don't think about keeping everything within their own brand, and they
Correct.
do kind of give it up to the bigger brokers
Mm-hmm.
initially. So I think everyone goes through
Yeah,
that.
it's painful.
Yeah, so we're trying to educate early to help people
Mm-hmm.
out to let them know that you got to keep everything in one place for yourself. So but so you mentioned you were going back to platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me why that is, or what you would need in that system?
When I had been on platinum before, I wasn't ready. I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready now. I need to have multiple people. I need to delegate out what I'm doing. It isn't all about me. It doesn't need to be my show. I need to get over, as the speaker I just left said, she's a recovering control freak. So this is my first dose of medicine. I'm going to let other people handle some of this business. It doesn't have to all be by me. I need to control the process. I don't need to control the tasks. So with platinum, I can do the task managers. I can have my activities and checklists. I can assign it to different people. They can log in, see what needs to be done today, and there's their workload. If I'm not there to tell them what needs to be done today, I don't have to be. The system's going to do that. And by by having multiple people to do login, then they're able to see what their task is. And it's not dependent on me to tell them what they need to do today.
Yes.
And it will help with lead generation and assigning leads, as I have a buyer's agent on mine that I work with, that I give referrals to. And that will help too, because then she'll have those, and instead of me having to enter them into the system to get them in the campaign, she'll have her own login. She can enter them into the system, and the follow-up would be more customized from her, because that buyer doesn't necessarily know me. They've been working with my buyer's agent, and it needs to be in her name, and that the platinum will allow me to have that.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad to hear you're actually letting the system kind of help you out that way because it'll give you more time to probably focus on things that you need to focus
Yes.
on. Yeah,
Yes.
having the company. So
Exactly.
gives you that flexibility you need, but you still can see what's happening. So you
Yeah.
don't have to give up full control, but
Yeah,
just
look,
enough.
baby steps, baby steps.
Exactly. Yes. And do you have any advice for agents just getting started since you have been doing this for many years, as far as, the process or, lead generation or anything along the lines that you wish you could have heard, maybe 10 years ago?
I don't know that it's so much about the processes or the systems. It's just from the very beginning, consider yourself a business person. You're not a realtor. It's not a job. You don't work for somebody else. Your business is going to be what you make of it. And just like if you were hiring a professional for any task, whether it be a doctor, a lawyer, a musician, they all practice, they all hone their skills, So get the designations, take the additional training. It's not that our companies don't offer us good things, but the best of the best are not necessarily selling it through an individual company. The best of their best went out and did it on their own, and that's where you need to get your information. Groups like CRS, Real Estate Masters Guild, the GRI, those are the classes and the speakers who will teach you how to be the best agent. And we had a speaker the other week that said, even with coaching, you can get there on your own, but you'll get there faster by letting people help you. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to take 20 years to grow a business. You can grow it in 2. You can grow it in 3. It's just how hard you want to work and how much you want to learn and let people help you.
That's a perfect way to wrap it up. Thank you so much for
you're
this
very
interview.
welcome.
It was fantastic.
You're very
I'm glad
welcome.
to hear your experience and
Yes,
your history. So
it's all good.
all right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Les.